What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the PrimeTime Post-Mortem Podcast. That's right, I'm one of your hosts, Swaggy Dr. Kush, and this is my main man, Doc. The fuck's going on, Doc?
I'm doing good. Yourself? Okay. We're just going to go straight into this because we might as well talk about it, and this is kind of something to do with PT, but it's also just to do with yourself. So let's get the cat out of the bag, and let's actually have you as an interviewee first. You versus Romero on Twitter. What in the world?
Wow, I'm getting interviewed. You threw me on
Yeah.
the spot here. So,
By the way,
so
we
I'll
didn't
just
rehearse any of this. Like,
I-
Swaggy didn't know I was going to talk about this. I'm
No, you
genuinely
can generally
curious.
see the shock on my face right now. So this started off. I'm happy you brought it up. This started off on Twitter. The game changers and the people that believe the game's good is on one side, and then there's a bunch of content creators and people that believe that there's a lot of fucking fixes this game needs, which is a lot of this community as well. The game needs a lot of fixes. So that was the main argument on Twitter. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
troll. Everybody knows I'm a troll. I've been around here trolling for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Swaggy. I troll a lot. So I said, these motherfuckers need to fight. These motherfuckers need to get in the ring and fucking fight. Stop being pussies and fight. So Romero said, I don't see you fighting. So I said, all right, bet, let's set it up. Laughed about it, whatever. I got Twitter fingers, but mama ain't raised no bitch. So he DM'd me very respectfully. So I respectfully wrote back. I was like, listen, let's fucking do this. I originally wanted boxing. He crazy motherfucker wanted MMA. We decided on submission wrestling. 15-minute time limit. It's gonna be wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu. First one to get a submission wins. If nobody gets a submission, it's a draw. 15-minute time limit. He offered me 2 time limits. He offered me 10 minutes and he offered me 15 minutes. I said, let's go 15. Mama ain't raised no bitch. I've been out of training for 4 years, but people may not know I was a high school wrestler for 10 years. I wasn't good. I was a high school wrestler for like 10 years. I was never a state champ or nothing. And there's a reason I didn't go on to the next level in college.
God.
I did train MMA after high school for about 3 to 4 years. Full MMA. I don't have a jiu-jitsu belt. I did do jiu-jitsu, but I don't have a belt. I never got into the jiu-jitsu training that way. I more had fun striking. It was more for a hobby, not to compete. Wish I got my jiu-jitsu belt. Wish I went for some belts. However, I have been trying to set up some sessions around my area and get some grappling in with old wrestling friends and some absolute jiu-jitsu savages around my area. Nothing has come back yet. However, I'm sure I'll get some work in before this initial event, and I won't Dylan Dennis it, and hopefully I don't embarrass myself. But Ben the Bane Davis did indeed have a submission grappling match, lasted 6 seconds. I'll be there longer than 6 seconds, baby. I'll be there longer than 6 seconds.
So that's your hope then, is it? It's like you've got no hope, but you just want to last longer than 6 seconds.
Ben Davis, my whole inspiration showing up to these things.
Fair enough.
This is a Romero. He's a proven athletic specimen. Proven. But he just happens to be a game changer. I don't have any problems with Romero. My problems are with EA. My beef's with EA. So if I have to show up to New York to submission wrestle Romero to get through EA's head that I'm willing to get choked the fuck out, possibly.
Possibly. That's the big word here.
To say this game's dog shit, it should go a long fucking way. The game's ass. I'm willing to go try to get an armbar. But before we get off this, I do just want to say I will land a power double leg. Head in the chest, legs up. I will. I'm getting the double leg. And everybody, it's going to be live on YouTube and Twitch. Everybody's going to be like, Swaggy, let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm landing that double leg. And if I get choked in a guillotine after that, I'd landed the double leg. It don't matter. However, I'm looking up here. It's a great opportunity.
Oh my
I'm
God,
happy I got
Swag.
invited. I'm happy we had a respectful conversation leading up to this, and it's not really me and him just kind of going back and forth beefing. It is going to be a respectful time, and I'm staying up there for 3 days. So I'm not just going to be with him for the grappling match. I'm going to be like, we're going to do some grappling after that. I'm also going to be sitting in, I'm going to have a full length interview with him as well. Questions I make up and questions from the community as well. Feel free to drop questions in these comments or just DM me directly. And the fuck do you want me to ask Romero? Let's fucking go. This is literally an EA game changer right in front of me in person. I'm gonna try my best to get all of the answers we need to get and fucking really dive deep into why EA does not like us.
I mean, I can respect that. I do think you're insane, but from
The
my
best
time,
content creators are a little crazy, baby.
I was going to say, from my time of speaking to you, doing these postmortems, working with you entirely for PT, insane seems right up your alley. Like, I don't know how you've done this, but I respect entirely the fact you have pulled this off and you are going for it. It is insane, though. Genuinely,
Y'all,
I don't think I can say that enough, Swaggy. You're going to get murdered.
I respect your opinion. Some say I got the craziness in me. I say I got the dog in me. All right. And on January 8th, I'm gonna do my absolute best to unleash that dog.
I respect it. I respect it. So,
However, I think we should dive into the event.
yeah,
Actual
should we talk
esports.
about
Like,
the insanity of UFC 5 then?
these people aren't putting their actual lives on their actual bodies on the line here, and that's what I respect the most. And the first thing I have written down, Doc, you're gonna love this. I don't even have anything about the fight. I have one line. Dave got fucked up. That's it. That's it. I don't have anything about the fight. All I have written is Dave got fucked up. He lost the fuck. He got fucked up. It was bad for Dave.
Well, I mean, when you mentioned, well, just before we get on to Buck versus Dave, I did want to go back and just say that some of them are putting their bodies on the live. You know, Samurai Robin has competed. We mentioned it on the last post.
He's a dog.
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely a dog, and he started off the GP versus Deathman. He looked really good. They had a couple of technical issues to begin with, so it didn't actually start us off. It was Devuk versus Dave. By about the third fight, we finally got all the technical issues down. That was a roundabout and a half from the back end. That was due to ping. You may. Whilst we're on this point, we might as well also discuss it. In terms of ping is being looked at. We are discussing it because that was a later issue brought up when the Dino fight came up. That's still being discussed. It's still being worked out, Swag. So, you got any input on times ping?
I wanna, ping. Let's just jump to the Dino Ben Jammy fight, real quick, because that's all ping.
We will eventually talk about all the fights, just possibly not in the same order.
Dino didn't beat Ben. Dino's ping beat Ben. I have a couple statements from Ben Jammy. Dino don't like me, so Dino didn't give me any statements. However, Ben loves me, so Ben did. Ben said,
I don't think Ben likes me though, only because of how I treated him like one of my last UFC 4 fights. Remember, because it was on your stream, and we went A to Z random, and I got James Vick. Yeah,
I remember that, and you just fucking were torturous. That was the craziest cheese I've ever seen. But he said Dino was a slow-mo fight. I know I'm better, so it's all good.
Fair enough.
Ben generally believes he's better than Dino, and it's all ping. Now, watching that fight, it was the first fight I've ever seen where I was like, bro, stop the fight. Like, usually a little lag's not bad, but this fight was literally slow-mo. It was literally slow-mo. Like, where the fuck is Dino?
Here's the thing. I don't know whether that was because the fight Dino had next was against Elite King, which was about 200 ping.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but the difference was Elite King was the one streaming. Dino wasn't. So
it could be Dino streaming.
It's very well be. Although I have zero doubt about there being delay. I don't know if it was purely the fact the stream was slow mo or it was the actual game being slow mo. So that's something again that will be looked at later down the line, as I've said previously, and that's something that the PT is working hard to get itself sorted with.
Yeah, our guys in the back will check that out. So going right into it, after the Dave fight, I have written down J Dime's always hating. I can't really remember what he was hating on in
I
this very
think it was
moment.
you. Or was that the Xbox GP?
No, no, he was hating on me, but I think it was a little later on when Rolling Thunder started fighting. He started hating on me because he was like, "See, Swag,
Oh yeah, it
this is
was,
how
wasn't
you
it?
should
Yeah.
fight." He was like, "See, Swag, this is your fucking ceiling." I was just like, "Box me, J Dime. Let's go IRL. Let's get in a ring." You don't want it. You don't want the smoke. However, and then we move into Smudger, which is an amazing fight. Smudger versus Ward Life. It was an incredible fight.
Yeah.
Smudger was getting pressured heavy early. Smudger had to take it to the ground. Word Life was picking up aggression early round 2, which looked like he was actually going to get a finish. But then Smudger did end up just grappling it out and getting the finish that way. And later turns out we found out that Word Life had COVID. So I hope Word Life is starting to feel better now. That was almost a week ago. So he should start to turn around now. He should start to
I mean, to
be
quote
feeling
you,
a little
he
bit
has that dog in you.
he does
Dog
have
in
that
him.
dog in him.
Yeah, he has that dog in him.
I fought on COVID before. I did a Grand Prix tournament on COVID before, so I completely understand it. I just said it like it's a drug with COVID before. Um and like I was on acid. I was fucking with COVID before, and it was brutal. Horrible doing anything with COVID.
Yeah.
So shout out to Word Life for even fucking showing up. That's amazing. And putting on a show against Smudger. I do think Word Life is somebody that when he comes back healthy, he'll be up there for title contention for sure.
No, oh no, for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure this now makes Smudger and Wordlife 1-1, if I'm not mistaken. Because originally Wordlife beat Smudger. I think it was maybe in. It wasn't flyweight, that was Leon. Maybe lightweight. I don't know. It was a weight. I can't remember in UFC 4. He won. He beat Smudger, and then Word Life I think lost his belt and then stopped competing for a bit. And so by the time Smudger made his way back up towards that belt, he never got that win back over Word Life. So I think that now puts him at 1-1.
Okay.
So that's going to be an interesting time to see how they develop as time goes on. I mean, if you want to talk about other Smudger fights so far, let's jump all the way to the heavyweight weight, where you had Robin versus Smudger, which was wild. Like, I, I, I'm gonna say it mainly was caused due to the fact it wasn't the right picks. Then the bands played such a massive role in how that fight turned out.
Robin used Sergey, right?
Yeah, Pavlovich.
Yeah. I think that was a bad pick for him. Smudger made Robin look human. I haven't seen even fights that Robin lost. He never really looks human. He still looks like nuts, like cracked on the game, and Smudger made him look like he was fighting me out there. It was like not wasn't really close at all. Not taking anything away from Robin. I just think Robin had the wrong pick. I think Robin's gonna come back and be top 3 in the division, if not the champion. But heavyweight's a tough weight for
Yeah.
everybody, especially at the top level. And if you make a bad pick, Sergey was a wrong pick here, and it definitely cost him the fight making that Sergey pick. I think if it was at a different weight, and that's it sucks that that fight was at heavyweight. Um,
um,
because man, that was such a
it's a good fight, but I also feel like, especially as you're now competing come UFC 5, with the changes they made overall to one, long fighters, and two, how the heavier weight classes feel, because the heavier weight classes do feel a lot better than they used to from 3 and 4, and so those changes have overall made it a lot better. So and especially as PT goes forward, the plan is to go book from bantamweight, flyweight up to heavyweight, because of how effective all the weights are, and so I think you may start seeing more heavyweight fights, and that's going to force people to get back with those picks. There are viable picks. Pavlovich is one of the main ones, but then you had Tom Aspinall, John Jones. I'm pretty sure John Jones got banned, and so that's why Cyril Gama picked. Then you have Tom Aspinall. I mean, if you really want to, you've got Minotauro Nogueira with his beautiful submissions there as well. If you want to get crazy, you got Alexander, the boa constrictor Oleinik, the man who you can just kind of walk forward, shoot down, and then grapple from that point. But I don't know how effective that would work outside of me doing it, to be honest. But yeah, heavyweight's one of those weights where there are viable picks. You just have to know which ones there are. So I suppose to be the answer.
Yeah, nah, Fedor's right there, pick 2.
Exactly, Fedor. Completely split my mind.
But yeah, that was the semifinals, and I feel like now that we've made it this far, we don't really have to talk about any of the other fights, because yeah, there were some wars, but really the war that nobody asked for was Thunder versus Elite King. That was
a weird fight. That was a war.
That was a war that nobody asked for.
That ending was wild.
The thing is, listen, I am so fucking proud of you, Rolling Thunder. I am so fucking proud of you. You made it so fucking far in this tournament. It don't even matter that you lost to Smudger. It's Smudger. You'll be back. You'll be back, Smudger. Block your ears. You're gonna whoop his ass next time. You'll be back, baby. Don't worry, Thunder. You'll be back. All right, Smudger, you unblock your ears. Now, that fight was fucking nuts. Elite King and Thunder. It was just so back and forth. And there were some points where, Elite King's gonna end it. Elite King's gonna
end it. No, oh no. Now Rolling Thunder's gonna end it.
Thunder does something crazy.
And then the
Thunder throws a knee or an elbow. Yeah.
And then the ending was just completely insane. Like, I mean, so whilst we're on the topic of Rolling Thunder, he also, out of all things, got a Rolling Thunder.
First fight of the night.
First fight of the night. First fight that he did against Sean Corkery.
He opened his tournament up with
a Rolling Thunder. Like, the man's just insane. Like, he is consistently showing insanity after insanity, I think, as the commentary was describing. He's unorthodox to all hell. That's just a fact. He's unorthodox beyond belief, but the way he does and pulls everything off is impeccable. Just and because of that, that's what makes him such a difficult fighter, especially as you probably see it as the season goes on, is this insanity of what Rolling Thunder can cause.
The Swaggy style.
The Swaggy style. Yeah, we can go with that.
So I actually reached out to Rolling Thunder and got some comments because he put on a crazy performance all around the tournament. Took out people that he even beat V-Pain. Like, he had no right beating V-Pain in that moment. He did. And V-Pain was so respectful about it, said, tonight's not my time, it's Rolling Thunder's, congrats. And that's why I love Pain. However, moving forward, here's what Thunder had to say. He said, everything I do is for Winkle Sprinkles. He will be back. He wants his rematch for the belt. This time, he doesn't want cheesing double leg bales. No cheese. And then he goes into saying, they all doubted me, especially Roger. I went from playing on a PS4, losing the GOAT 1099 in spas, to beating some of the biggest names in PT. I've officially arrived. And he has. He's officially fucking arrived. He also said there was no holes in his ground game. Which you got to prove that, baby. You can't.
I'm gonna say you can't just say that and not have a grappler. I mean, one of the major grapplers, I suppose, within the BS division would be Vuck. A lot of them are more striking based. So, I mean, overall, I would really like to see a pure grappler, like similar in Dirty Days nature, really enter the PS scene and really cause some havoc. Maybe Styles. I believe Styles is looking to return at a point in the future once the game's had a few updates. So maybe we see it then. But for the time being, I suppose Vuck is probably the main grappler you've got to fight coming into this.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that too, with Vuck being the main grappler. V-Pain's more adjusted to striking, it seems. And then going into the finals, Thunder comes out so fast, throwing flying knees. He stuns Smudger. Smudger out here going for subs. Smudger did eventually end the fight and become the new UFC 5 champion.
Yeah, he's our
of
first ever UFC 5 champion. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
congrats to
And
him there as well.
Smudger did call it though.
Hmm?
Smudger's another person. Smudger called it. Smudger's another person I reached out to. I've been talking to him for the last couple of weeks. And you know, he's just been calling it like I'm gonna win that GP pretty much. And the other day he told me, I told them all at the end of UFC 4, catch me lacking while I'm unmotivated and cold, but you don't want to catch me on UFC 5. I'm back better and more motivated than ever to showcase my skills.
I respect it. I mean, I don't think anybody could have predicted the way the GP went, though. That's one of the biggest things to know. Like, yes, Smudger won, but I don't think anybody was, one, expecting his opponent, was expecting how he would win, or expecting any way in which form that GP turned out to be. Because that GP was wacky.
Also, Doc,
Mad
at you again for this.
Oh no! What have I done?
The Grand Prix started, and I see Smudger's name, and I go back to our PT post-mortem conversation, where you told me Smudger would not be competing.
Did I say that?
Yes! Yes! And that's why Robin and Payne were my main picks! Who didn't even... Alright, Robin went pretty far.
Oh, because Hang on. Sorry, let me go back in the conversation. I think, yeah, because there was no replacements at that point.
I did have Thunder as a sleeper, though.
Smudger was a replacement. That's why I would assume.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that must...
minute.
Yeah, he came in about last minute. He came in, I think, maybe the day before or something.
That makes it even cooler.
He wasn't originally competing, but then he was in, so yeah.
That makes it even cooler when he came in last minute and got that shit done. You got all the respect to Smudger, man. Smudger's world-class elite fighter.
Yeah, indeed.
And I'm excited to see him against people like Robin, people like Wordlife, people like Thunder.
You also got the rest of the people who have gone 2-0 on airs who are now fighting on PT 112, who are going to be looking into it there and stuff. So
has CV done any unaired fights?
Don't believe so.
Is he one of those guys that just kind of get jumped though?
I think CV's currently just chilling. I think he's waiting for the game to have a couple updates. Last from speaking to him, I believe he's like taking a bit of a break and he'll be back in due course.
Yeah, he never responds to me until the podcast is already out anyway. So we definitely don't need him holding the belt. However, moving
That's
forward,
a bit mean, Swaggy. Jesus.
I love you, CV. The moving forward, the PlayStation division's fucking stacked. I know it's better than the Xbox division.
I mean, I can bring up the PrimeTime rankings currently. We got Smudger, we got Rolling Thunder, we got Elite King, Star, Reapsy, Hoo, Robin, JJ, Comas, Naz, J Hatch, Ned, Vinny, Wicked, Rayhan, and Kayhan, not Rayhan, and Ripe. Which, I mean,
Comas is up there on the rankings?
Yeah, he's currently 1-0.
He died. He's only 1-0?
Yeah, he's number 8. It's early season. It's early season.
It's because the camera decided to go into the crowd.
I believe
he's
got a fight at PT 112 as well. So, I mean, that's going to be a very interesting.
Shall we talk?
Yeah.
PT 112.
I want to say we've made enough rumours towards it. We can definitely now start talking about it. I mean, this is PT 112, the first official pay-per-view for PrimeTime of UFC 5. The main event is Fad versus Oran. I talk to him. I talk to him weekly, and I still can't pronounce his name. It's really bad of me. But hey,
Odran.
There you go, Odran. There we are. Odran is 2-0. He's went 2-0 on the unaired. He got, I think, both times the quickest finishes, which is why he's in that position, ranked number 4. So that's going to be a wild fight to see, especially against someone like Fad.
Is the new co-main Aladipo versus Kendra?
So, just for reference and explaining what Swag was saying there, was originally our co-main event was going to be Smudger, but sadly we've had a couple of issues with that. His opponent has dropped out. And just a few other bits and pieces. So Smudger's going to be main eventing next card at PT 113, which is going to be an interesting one. So that will most likely be a PS winner on the main card, possibly Rolling Thunder versus Who, maybe Naz versus J Hatch. We'll have to see how the card goes, who wins, where the rankings lie. But that will be further discussed later down the line, probably early after Saturday.
Will it call me Swag? We will not call you Swag. I'm Swaggy.
Fonty seems to know him. From what I've been seeing about the place, Fonty knows him.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Fonty was mad at me in the general fucking primetime Discord. Fonty, you got dog walked twice in a row. Is he fighting this week?
Fonty, I believe so.
I hope he wins. I'm gonna be rooting for him against Conqueror.
Scouring the card.
I'm gonna be rooting.
Yeah,
for
he is
Fonty.
Conqueror. Yeah, that'll be at featherweight. That's a wild fight. Prelims, 4-star featherweight. It's got a lot of good picks actually. Is the beast
I'm gonna be
still in the
rooting for
game?
Fonty. However, moving forward, yeah, call me Swag. I don't appreciate that. Wow, this card's stacked though. We got Thunder versus Hoo.
Yeah,
is this the return of Hoo?
Yeah, this is the return of Hoo.
All right, that's gonna be a beautiful thing.
We got
Thunder is number 1 right now. That's great.
I mean, you got Tao Lung, who is kind of notorious on Xbox Ranked. He's fighting Call Me Swag, so
yes, I'm rooting for you, Tao Lung. And the return of Naz to primetime
and Keza. We have Hoo, Keza, and Naz all making their return to the live card.
Keza's also returning. Yes, yeah. Keza is also returning. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
So
okay,
you have 3 returning fighters who are all now on that main card.
Keza and Aladipo will be a good fight. Aladipo.
That's going to be a war. That's going to be a very big war, especially with how Ali showed up in the GP.
He was really showing out in the GP. Thunder versus Hoo will be a good fight. Mix-ups. I'm excited to see mix-ups back. Mix-ups was also exciting to watch in the GP.
Yeah, no, mix-up looked really good. I mean, our feature prelim has Kante in it, so you know that's going to be a possible fight of the night for certain. That's going to be it.
I feel like we're a little hard on Conti sometimes, and I always enjoy watching him fight. I'm kind of rooting for him this season. I would like to see him bring something up, you know, maybe possibly get some gold. And
he's a former champion.
No, UFC 5 gold. I don't count UFC 4 gold.
I was gonna say he's a former champion though.
Another good fight down here. Webo's also in the prelims.
I was about to mention that. So we haven't gone to the scum bucket of this week just yet. But what we will do is, I think I know who's going to be the scum bucket of next week's post-mortem, and it's going to be between Webo and Demonic.
You think it's going to be one of them? Nah, I see a lot of names. I see a lot of names that could be a possible scum bucket of the week.
Only because Demonic and Webo are currently both notorious for the way they've been getting takedowns, which is double leg bails consistently. I think Demonic has been counted in one VFL fight as getting 50 takedowns. Attempted takedown, sorry. Not, he didn't get 50 takedowns. That'd be the case if you just took someone down and get back up. But you get the general gist, so that's going to be a interesting fight. I'm actually looking forward to it, which I don't know if I'm a sadist or not for it, but
there's also a couple low-key names, Doc, on here that y'all may really not know.
We know
like
Lepo.
Spooky.
Spooky.
I'm not gonna bring up Lepo. Lepo better fucking win this fight. Don't get me started.
He better win or he's kicked out of TSD, is he?
I would never kick Lepo out. That's my Alaskan homie. However, Spooky is a fucking dog.
Yeah, no, Spooky is a dog.
I'm very excited to see him against Wicked. Spooky is a savage.
Especially with the new grappling system in play. That's a really...
I've been watching Spooky streams. Spooky has been killing it. So on ranked and shit. So I'm very excited to see him back to competing.
You got Ruck at the very first fight of the night, which just shows you how stacked this entire card is. The
Yeah,
fact of Ruck,
him versus MG is actually a really good fight too. That should be a main card fight all day. That's a really good fight.
yeah, but sometimes it's early season. They're
It
ranked from
happens.
19 and 21. Like
They're both 1-1. It
yeah,
happens.
exactly.
And also another low-key fighter on this card that many people may have not heard about yet. He's an Xbox player. He's currently 1-0. Hella looted. He also comes from the TST camp.
And
He
so
didn't
he's a name
compete.
I've seen quite a lot. I think it was on
Yeah,
heads and
he's
stuff.
been competing in unairs a lot.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like one of his first times on the main card. He's excited and we've been getting him ready for it. So
Nice.
I'm definitely thinking he's gonna come out and put on a show too. But yeah, man, this card's all around stacked. I mean, the fight that I'm absolutely most excited for is the return of Naz. I can't lie. I just did a video. I just did a YouTube video. I'm doing a series currently about Naz. Because Naz does this funny thing where he is a baby face first round, so he's very respectful. And at the very beginning of the second round, he pulls heel and he fake love touch front kicks you, and it almost lands every single time. I'm excited to see if he does that. I'm excited to see if we see the baby face to heel. Because I'm going to be screaming. I think it's the funniest thing ever. Whoever he does it to is not happy, but I think it's the funniest shit ever. So I'm excited for that fight. And another fight, obviously, I'm excited for. Excited to see Fatinator again. Fatinator always puts on a show, and O'Dran has a lot of hype behind him. So let's see if Fatinator can keep this streak going, baby.
Well,
let's see.
I'm going to bring up a previous site, which I can't remember what card it's at, because I've seen so many. I've seen at least 112. I think we've actually run about nearly 200 events by this point. Actually, probably over it, thinking about it. But Audran's position reminds me a lot of Ali DP's 10s when he first got a title shot. He brought it up to heavyweight. He was very much a newcomer still to the competitive scene. He was still getting his bearings. So this fight, if he does win, that's an incredible achievement. But if he doesn't, there's a very, very high chance that Audran comes back 10 times stronger. And he learns a lot. He delves more into the game. He gets a lot better. And I'm kind of expecting either way to go. Either way, it's going to be a wild fight and a half and a very impressive performance by both gentlemen. But
yes,
that can kind of
110%. I would love to see a new coming on Xbox, but then again, Fatinator is so dominant in what he does, and I'm hoping to just see a beautiful fight, and let's just hope it's close, because in some Fatinator fashion, sometimes it's not close. So hopefully we got a close main event, and one last sleeper fight on the card. Conqueror versus Fonty.
I don't know who Conqueror is. I'll be honest, I don't. He's on an ad. He's now just competing. I
talked about it earlier. Fonty's definitely 0-2, not 1-1. I talked about it earlier. However, Fonty needs to prove something here. He definitely lost that first GP fight, I think.
Yeah, which is where the loss comes from.
Oh, wait.
Then he would have won one on the unaired. Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, because you're thinking of the expedition fights, which aren't counted on the record.
Yeah, I thought it was 2-2.
Yeah,
I thought those two back to back.
I was having to work it out of the back of my head.
But then I was like, wait, the exhibition doesn't count.
Yeah, it's like
so yeah, all right. So yeah, Fonty has a lot. I feel like Fonty has a lot to prove, because the last 2 times we saw him live wasn't good for him. I'm happy he got it. I'm happy that this week off on the unaired worked out in his favor. But now he's back on the live card. Yeah, it's with the big boys again. It's with the big dogs. Fonty needs to prove that he belongs, and I'm rooting for him. I hope he does. I'm never rooting against any of you guys when I say bad things. I'm just reporting, and I do it funny because I'm me. However, I'm just hoping for the best for Fonty. I'm hoping he pushes through this little riff he's having, you know. But for Conqueror, he's 1-0 coming on against Fonty, who's shown us on the live cards he's at. So maybe Conqueror can make something big happen. It's another fight I'm looking forward to as well, and that's on the prelims.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, as you've all mentioned so far, the entire card's stacked. So, as you said, that's another fight looking forward. Let's see. Swaggy's picks of the night. Fight of the night.
Fight of the night's going to be Keza and Oladipo.
Okay. Knockout of the night.
Knockout of the night's going to be Rolling Thunder.
KO of the night. Have we already said one?
Aren't those the same thing?
Yeah, they are. The performance of the night.
Call me Swag.
Fair enough. And what's the last one? Submission of the night, if we do get a submission, which is a rarity still.
Lepo.
He's at middleweight. 4-star Nick Diaz. Lepo. Okay. I respect it. I think you're insane personally, but I respect that submission pick. Lepo.
We already covered that. I'm crazy.
I'm going to say Lepo's going to come out and box his head off, especially if he gets a Nick Diaz pick at middleweight.
Yeah, I've never seen him shoot a shot, but
I'm hoping.
I'm gonna message him right now and be like, Lepo,
you need to get a submission. That's fair enough. Well then, so from Swaggy's picks of PT 112, we'll go into our last couple of segments that we said we would do. Firstly, the scum bucket of a tiny bucket. I'm still shocked how small the bucket is.
You do always bring up the tiny.
It is absolutely tiny. Like, I was expecting like a good bucket, like a bucket you could actually fill with water, not something that you could like barely fill with a 300 milliliter can.
We're gonna put bear cans in here. So this scum bucket of the week. People were screaming in chat. I saw a couple people say that Rolling Thunder was gonna be my scum bucket of the week. I would never give flying knee, spinning elbow scum bucket of the week. Y'all gotta understand.
Even if you probably should, arguably, to cause the wrestling into.
Never. However, my scumbag of the week this week, and I probably would actually. However, my scumbag of the week this week comes from actually outside of the cage, and because of his very rude, disrespectful, and disgusting comments in the booth, I believe he should be suspended for 2 weeks. And this is J Dime TV. This is J Dime TV. I believe he should be suspended. I will be speaking to Cyrus, and I'll be saying I think J Dime should be suspended. However, they could have did way better with just Roger and Cyrus in the booth. We would have enjoyed it.
Oh my god.
J Dime is my scum bucket of the week. My swag bag, however, is indeed Rolling Thunder. That he started the tournament off with a Rolling Thunder. He started off with a Rolling Thunder. The absolute use of his explosive flying knees in the second fight was unheard of. V-Pain was concerned. Why is this man jumping so much? And he got it done. Rolling Thunder is my absolute swag bag of the week because, I mean, he was out there just swagging it up. He was spinning, jumping, and cartwheeling people into the Shadow Realm. Yeah. Hashtag free Winkles Sprinkles. Get that trending. For sure.
I mean, you can still use his calf. It's not banned, and not unless someone bans it.
He's acting like he's in prison. Like Mr. Winkle Sprinkles is in prison. He's acting like we need him out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But however, yes. So
what we found out. What we found out from that segment is, if you want to get the swag bag, be nice to Swaggy. If you want to get the scum bucket, be mean to Swaggy.
Hey. Thunder's called me an asshole before, right? Because I speak the truth. However, it was just a swaggy performance. That's
swaggy performance.
That is the swag bag right there. I want to see craziness. And J Dime's an asshole. I literally wrote in my notes, J Dime's always hating. That was way before I decided, all right, this motherfucker's going to be Scumbucket of the Week.
Genuinely impressive. You're genuine.
And what sold it was Rolling Thunder landed some kind of spinning elbow combo, and J Dime was like, Swaggy could never.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was like, all right, J Dime got it this week. Because that is ridiculous. Why talk about me so much? I'm only nice to him.
Congratulations. Well, condolences on J Dime for getting into the swag Scumbucket. Congratulations to Rolling Thunder for impressing Swaggy and getting into the swag bag of the week. We have dissected the PSGP. We have dissected this Saturday's card. We will get to see the results on Saturday at PT 112 on Primetime MMA at Twitch, 3:30 Eastern, 8:30 GMT. I have been your host, the Doctor. With me on tonight's interesting podcast of Post Mortem has been Dr. Swaggy Kush, saying the who's, the whens, and the whys. If you want to catch this guy out on Twitch at Dr. Swaggy Kush, please do so. If you like the insanity he does, he's only weirder on Twitch, trying to fight people with the foam fingers. But with all that being said, Swaggy.
Damn, J-Dime ruined my streak with the foam finger, too. He had one on. I'm just so mad at this guy. That's it for today's episode. If y'all are still here and you don't already subscribe to the Primetime Table channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and leave us comments, because we do love reading y'all comments.
Indeed, we do. So, with that being said, have a good night. Adios.